We are being called to awaken to the truth of our being. In order to awaken to our true self, we must live in a state of awareness. If you are ready to remember who and what you are in truth, then follow the blue butterfly. Welcome to a return to oneness. Lessons in Awakening. My name is Eddie, and I help people open their hearts. This is the series 5 to Thrive. This video is titled Awareness Revealed. As we move into the time of awakening, we often speak of expanded awareness, also known as Christ awareness. But what is awareness? Before we can understand what awareness is, we must first recognize what the energy of consciousness is. In A Course in Miracles, it is written that consciousness is the domain of the ego. In other words, consciousness is the egoic kingdom. It is a dark kingdom, devoid of light and truth. It is a kingdom rife with pain, misery, and suffering. But more importantly, the egoic kingdom is the realm of hell. What does this mean? Quite simply, it represents our collective forgetfulness of who and what we are. Many listening to this video, including myself, have spent years uprooting and deleting the foundational beliefs that kept us experiencing the pain and suffering that we did. But now the time has come for us to move out of consciousness and into expanded awareness. However, before we can successfully have experiences of true awareness, we must have an idea of what it is we are doing. You may be surprised to learn what awareness simply is. In order to help us move into awareness, let's first look at consciousness. For when we understand its energy, we can more fully recognize and appreciate the energy of awareness. Yet, we must come to understand that consciousness and awareness have nothing in common. They are, quite literally, opposites. Only one of them is real. Let's look at the word conscious. It is a word made up of the prefix con, which means against, added to the Latin root scio, which carries the meaning knowledge. Thus, consciousness literally means against knowledge. Since God is knowledge, then consciousness simply means to be against God. Or, as it is written in Return to Oneness, consciousness is the state of being not God. Therefore, consciousness is the energy of not God, which is nothing more than the ego. Now let's look at the word awareness. The dictionary simply defines it as the state of being aware. Furthermore, the word aware means to have knowledge. Again, since God is knowledge, then awareness is a state of having God. In the truest sense, awareness is the state of being God. Yet it goes much, much deeper. And it is this deeper understanding that we each must apply within our lives in order to have experiences of oneness, which is, after all, our true state of being. The deeper meaning of the word aware is found in its origin. It is also where its energy signature is found. The word aware is a word that arose from the prefix a, meaning not or without, combined with the root wary, which literally means fear. Thus, awareness is simply the state of being without fear. As we can see, awareness really is the state of being God. For God is love, and God is knowledge. Therefore, since fear is the opposite of love, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite, then awareness is quite literally the energy of love, the energy that we call God. When we look at awareness through the lens of the spiritual laws, specifically the law of being, then its energy becomes experiential rather than merely theoretical. The law of being states, to give is to have is to be, and to be is to know. As such, to give love is to have love is to be love, and to be love is to know love. It becomes even clearer when we look at it this way. To give God is to have God is to be God, and to be God is to know God. Thus, awareness really is the state of being God, of being love, of being without fear. Are we ready to be without fear? If we truly are, then we must find every last trace of fear residing within our minds. We cannot allow even a microscopic amount of fear to remain. However, we are also tasked with something just as important as removing fear. What is it? It is but this: we must relinquish all forms of judgment. And we must always remember fear is the child of judgment and guilt. When we remove the cause of fear, which is judgment and guilt, then fear will have been removed forever from our minds, thus our experiences. But in order to lay aside fear, we must relinquish all forms of judgment, and this includes the forms we call attack, defense, blame, and victimhood. Can we do this? Oh yes, for the Christ has already accomplished this. Now we must turn to the living Christ within us in order to teach us how to live judgment-free. For this is when we will begin creating experiences of oneness, because we will have moved past consciousness. As such, we will no longer see others. How could we? For love only knows itself. And it is this that we must now do. There is only love, for there is only God. And we are love simply experiencing itself. Let's forget fear and its cause, which is but judgment. They serve nothing but the kingdom of not God. It is our time to awaken and be that which we are in truth. The time for pretending to be something that we aren't has passed. The time to stand up has come. Our resurrection is here. Therefore, let's arise and exit the tomb with joy in our hearts and gratitude on our tongues. Thank you for watching and listening to this video. Remember, you are loved, and you are that love. If you enjoyed this video and would like to hear more, then please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons below.